Guys, it's me, Grant, and I'd like to thank Henry for letting me use his channel to post my Mermail deck profile. And this deck has already went through a lot of testing. I went on a 7-in-1 streak. Even a Shadal player asked me how he basically wanted my build of Mermails, and I'll get right into it. Here's Mermail Abyss Gundy. You know why, it's limited for a reason. You discard it, and then you get a Mermail back, which usually this guy. Abyss lead just because he's a 2700 beat stick, and his effect is sometimes nice if you know that by discarding cards from their hand, they'll be at a severe disadvantage, or if you know what's in their hand, which, it can sometimes be quite mean, and just by being 2700, that's really good. We got Lind. Lind is basically the card that they never want to attack into. And just because of Lind, you can set cards like Controller, or, if you're really low in life points, you might even set cards like this. Usually don't suggest that, but they won't attack it, usually because it's Lind. I've won a game because I stalled for 2 turns, because they thought it was a Lind, and then I flipped it up, and it was a Marksman, and all the salt I got. It doesn't matter, I won. This is Mermails. And also you can bring it out with Sphere, which is usually that's what you want to do right at the end phase. And some person just rage quitted at me. You are gonna get the salt and the rage quits by playing this deck, because people are like, oh, that deck isn't even supposed to be meta anymore. No, 1 Europe, but that's not why I'm here. We got the 2 Meglos. Lots of people are cutting them down to 1. In deck profiles I've seen, it was at 1, but I was agreeing with them until recently, where I felt like by discarding these cards, it would definitely be very beneficial. And you can discard like this, and you can, and that's just really good. Now, what surprises me is this card is not a Sea Serpent, so you can't search out with Dragoons, but you can search out this big beater. And I like to do a combo. I'll use Genix Undyne, dump Dragoons, get Controller, and no, what was it? I think it was discard Dragoons. What was it? Discard Title or Dragoons?
What combo?
I remember it was the Title combo.
I think you ditched Title.
Oh, yeah, no. Here's what it was. I used Genix Undyne, dump Dragoons, and then I get my Abyss Meglo, and then I'd use Meglo's effect. I dump a Title and another water, then I would tribute Undyne and attack twice with this, and attack once with this. That's already 74. So you pretty much have game already. You got the 3 Abyss Pike, everybody knows. It's discard a water, which will usually be an Atlantean, or this if you don't want that. And then you can add a level 3, which can be Genix Undyne. Most of the time you can add this guy if you want to ditch him later. Or you could add an Abyss Lind, which is also a very good play. You got the Abyss Tias, which is the Stratos of the deck. Just to discard one of these guys, you get a free pop. Or this guy, you get Sea Serpent in the hand, which might be this guy. Then you get a level 4 lower, Mermail monster. So that'll usually be this guy. If you are gonna make a Gundy play, maybe this guy. Onto Abyss Sturge. Abyss Sturge, because you don't want to draw this card. For all those that say no, it has to be at 2. No, it doesn't. If you have it in hand, it's really bad first turn. It can slow down, but you get it for the Gundy plays, for dumping Marksman, for getting back Genix Undyne. It is definitely beneficial at 1. I would definitely say you could cut it if you want, but I wouldn't suggest it. We got the Dragoons, just for dumping it to get a Sea Serpent, or sometimes if it's late game, you can poke with Marksman by having its all level 3 or lower Sea Serpent monsters can attack your opponent directly. We got the double infantry, only for the discard. You only want it for discard. Just dump it with Tias, dump it with Undyne, dump it with Meglo, and if you're unfortunate enough to have lead in hand, sometimes there have been times you are desperate enough to go dump 3 cards for a lead, which is sad, but you have to have them for the 27 beat stick factor, and just make them cringe if they attack into your Lind. The Marksman. I had someone tell me, no, it's only 2. No, 3. 3, because just popping back row, Georgia hates you. Anything that has back row hates you. Just pop it all, bring out a Meglo, and push. And you can even add it with stuff like Dragoons if you want to dump it. and it's just really beneficial. The Genix Undyne, I forgot who created this, but it created the idea of using Genix Undyne, but it's amazing. Now, you just dump anything from your deck.
Keep it at 1!
No. You're a communist for saying that. He just wants to spread the Undynes to everybody. No. Undyne, just normal summon it, dump a water, add a controller, and if you know your opponent can't deal with Leo inside their main deck, what you do is you dump a title, you get your controller, next turn summon title, and just make Leo. Ooh, whoops, what did I do there? Okay, controller just be added by this guy, and to get all the synchros. Title, you know why. Salvage, I cut this card sometimes if I don't want it. Just add back like this, and this. Soul Charge, because it's Soul Charge, it's super broken. Dark Hole, amazing top deck, and Book of Moon in case they are a Royal Decree deck. You got the 3 Sphere to bring out a Abyssland, and there are other times you can use it, like if you need a tribute, which does occasionally happen. Usually, if you have and the band played on the field, that like I would bring out something that wouldn't be another level and then tribute it and then go into a rank 7. Abyss Squall. Now, this is where a lot of Mermail players are going to disagree with me, and it's more European players that play this, even though I'm American. And I feel like it's really good. I don't really need the Soul Charge, helps without being OTK'd. And you can like summon 2 level 7s and a Lind and just leave it on the field. 2 Squalls. Divine Wrath. Instead of another Breakthrough Seal, because you can discard cards you don't want, like Lead, which I draw all the time, which makes me very sad, even though it's at 1. And it destroys it. So like Geargia armor, you should already be winning for playing against Geargias, because of Marksman. But you should it'll stop a lot of stuff.
Now, would you say Marksman's pretty much the MST of the deck?
Yes.
Okay.
Just popping all the back row. And then, a lot of people like MST better because you can also hit face-ups. Well, you have heavy infantry, so stop complaining. And then you also have Gungnir, which I've, this extra deck is, I think it's almost all someone else's extra deck that I saw, but it's really standard. You have the Solemn, the Bottomless, and the Compulse, just for the, stopping their 1 monster, and the Torrential Tribute. Onto the extra deck. We have the Diamond Dire, just for the 1 pop, when you really need it. You have the Lavolval Chain to dump a title. Now, if he was water, oh my gosh, the broken plays. You just keep dumping stuff and popping stuff. Ugh. Wow, if he is water. Big Eye, just to steal their monsters, and they get all the salt. The Draco Sack, safe first turn play. You got the Bahamut Shark to bring out Abyss Trite, which, 28 defense, and then you can summon a Mermail monster from your graveyard, except Abyss Trite. Lead. Or, Lead or Lindy would usually be the target. You have the, Abyss Gaios, just for the other rank 7. He can really shut down a lot of decks. He really does hurt Shaddolls quite a lot. You have the Abyss Dweller for the decks that need cards effects in the graveyard, especially the hands. I already said Abyss Trite. Usually won't bring her out from the 3 level 7s, but if you need to, you can do it. You have the E-Knight. Ooh, the salt. You're gonna get so much salt just by playing this deck. People are just salty with you. The Leviair, the Sea Dragon, usually to bring back out a pike that's banished from your title, and then dumping stuff like a Marksman, this thing, or this thing, and then getting something. Which usually, in my opinion, is usually Genix Undyne. This card has saved me games. Mecha-equipped Engineer. It's the perfect stall card, pretty much. It just sits there on the field, and they can't really do anything about it. The 101, you know why, just steal a thing. Now, you can maybe argue that you could take out other stuff and put in a Castile, too, for the Shaddolls. But this deck, when I was playing in competitive, it run all 4 of its Shaddol matchup, and then I was playing in a single, and I lost against Shaddolls, which is sad. We got the Black Rose because of Genix Controller, and then, like, any level 4, destroy the entire field. Leo, because this, you know why. And then the Gungnir, the level 7, and because it's water, you can discard 2 cards like this, so you get the extra pops. It's just so much plus. and I really have lightened up to it. I was thinking of taking it out at some point, but I got used to the deck and I decided it was really good. Debunk, stops the hands, stops Mermail, ugh, and it just stops everything pretty much that needs stuff in the graveyard or hand. So those Dragon Rulers, no more of those. MST, you are gonna put this in for the Shadal matchup a lot of the time because, and just to pop the back, just put in the side deck. When your opponent's side decks, you do this to counter their side decks. Curse Seal the Forbidden Spell is something that a lot of people probably haven't seen, and I got this idea from Asian Ice White Dragon, but I'm running it at 3 because you're gonna need it against Shadal's. Well, you're not gonna need it, but it's gonna be very helpful because if you were to get in a bunch of if you get this, you just save your salvage in hand and just wait for them to activate Shadal Fusion, which you can bait out by summoning Leo, and then they get no more Shadal Fusions. One of my Shadal matchups, game 2, he won game 1. I flipped up a Shadow Prison Mirror, so then he Shadal Fusioned, and I Curse Seal the Forbidden Spelled him, and he just scooped right there. Shadow and Pristine Mirror because Shadal's. Some people are going to say Light and Pristine Mirror. I say no. Shadal's need to get hated on. And it doesn't seem like they're doing as well as Jason Ice White Dragon predicted. He was the one that put up all that hype. Let's see if he's right. And the band played on for the rank 4 spam decks, which is going to be Stellar Knights. That is it. I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.